All right, our state has $12 billion committed for the so-called high-speed rail project. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but that's still $56 billion short of the estimated cost. Our investigative producer Heidi Kuda asked the Rail Authority's chairman to explain where they're going to get the rest of that money. Heidi?
We interviewed Chairman Dan Richard, who took the helm of California's high-speed rail authority earlier this year. He says he believes he can get billions more from the federal government, but rail watchdogs say that's pure fantasy. And if they start the project and then cannot get more money, billions will have been wasted.
We can go to the federal government and say, look, whatever else you think, we've got this much money, we've got half the money we need to connect all the way to Palmdale. We need this piece of money, which is going to have an enormous benefit.
Dan Richard is thinking big. The chairman of California's high-speed rail authority says he thinks Washington will see the light.
I'm prepared to have that conversation, even if we're dealing with a conservative Republican majority in the House of Representatives, because I think we'll be able to show that certain increments of funding can trigger private sector investment and other local investment.
But this rail watchdog says it's a tough sell to a broke Congress.
Getting money out of the feds is essentially a pipe dream. It is a pipe dream because there are lots of people who want the money. So it's not a priority with the Obama administration. It is certainly not a priority with the House of Representatives, and it's very low on the priority list with the Senate.
William Grindley is a business consultant who co-authored 36 reports on the financial risks to Californians on the high-speed rail project.
Show me the money. It's not there. That's why we call it the no train to nowhere. But they are tearing up land. They're tearing up prime agricultural land. They're going to tear up a few downtowns along the way, and the result will be a monument to foolishness.
Although California received $3.3 billion from federal stimulus money for high-speed rail and $9 billion from the state, the estimated cost of the entire project is $68 billion. Currently, most of the money they have is targeted at the first section of the project, from the small town of Madera to Bakersfield, and that does not include the cost of electrification. Keep in mind, without more money, it looks as if about all that can be built is Madera to Bakersfield. Governor Brown says he's not worried about the money.
You know, we got a railroad that goes from one end of America to the other. It's called the Transcontinental Railroad. That thing was started by Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. He didn't know how the hell he was going to pay for it, but they went ahead and they did it.
But Grin Lee says Californians should be very concerned.
Not in my lifetime will LA see a high-speed rail that connects San Francisco and Los Angeles, and probably not in my children's lifetime. This is the wrong project in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So we should expect to wait 145 years to get a rail system? Beside the governor's point right there, if they can't get the money from the federal government, I don't know how they can. They're broke. California's broke. Everybody's broke. Where are they going to get the money?
Here, we're going to stay all over this. We're going to take a closer look at the debate over other possible ways to finance the project. Dan Richard says the project will entice private investors. He says the project will have assets to sell. William Grindley says there is no example of a high-speed rail project ever functioning without some kind of subsidies.
Wow. All right, Heidi. That's something, isn't it? All right, we're keeping track of the high-speed rail project. You can, too. Go to myfoxla.com. All of Heidi's stories are there, so it'll give you a little bit of background. She's been doing a great job talking to a lot of the people, too, in that area that is affected where the farm country is.